so today we're talking about feet. And I got this cute little variety pack on Amazon, and it's just a bunch of low shank feet, and it was like 20 bucks. Nothing really crazy. And there's just all sorts of goodies on here. Some that just like look like alien technology stuff I've never even heard of before. Not that I'm like the foot expert or anything. But I thought that, I would just do some videos on like, all the stuff that's going on in here, because a lot of these I do know, luckily. And I just wanted to kind of go through and maybe explain some of the goofier ones and some of the ones that are super duper useful. And I wanted to start with this guy here. This is a Teflon foot. And I know what you're thinking, Teflon is something that goes on a pan. What in the world's going on? So Teflon feet are meant for pleathers and overly synthetic fibers, kind of not really like polyester or nylon, but like real plasticky vinyls, pleather, stuff like that. And sometimes if you sew with them, depending on the texture, your feet will stick to the fabric and the teeth won't actually move the fabric along. So you just end up making the same stitch over and over again. And there's a couple different ways of going through like fixing that problem, but this is definitely the end all be all. And I haven't actually used this guy, so this guy could totally be lying to me. It doesn't look like Teflon to me, but I'm assuming that it's gonna stay true to the name, but I guess we'll figure that out. So I'm just gonna go over, how it works and the difference between using it and not using it.
Alright, so here's what we're working with today. Here I have this really cute holographic vinyl that I've worked with that I know definitely has the issue that we're talking about. But I have 3 feet here, and I'm actually going to use a plastic foot just to see if it's just the plastic part that has a difference here. And I have a fully metal straight stitch foot, obviously, as what I know is going to mess up. And of course, we have our Teflon foot, and we're going to see, what the difference is between all of them. And in between that, I'm going to be using the tissue paper, and that's just sort of like how you would fix the issue without using a Teflon foot. Alright, first we're going to start with the metal straight stitch foot, just to show what this problem is in case you haven't encountered it. And lucky you if you haven't, because it is so emotionally exhausting. But yeah, we're going to throw this in here, and you'll see, nothing good's going to come of it. And immediately, it's not moving. It's going nowhere. It's doing nothing productive for me. And all you're really going to end up with is just a ball of thread and a headache, right? And as you can see up close, it really did nothing but maybe potentially jam your machine. Now next I'm going to be using this plastic satin stitch foot, and obviously this isn't the right foot for the application, but I wanted to test the theory that maybe it's just metal that causes the problem and that maybe using a plastic foot would eliminate the issue. And I'm gonna go with no, because it actually just jammed my bobbin, and my bobbin thread just wrapped around my needle. So yeah, not the ideal outcome for sure. So it definitely did a lot better than the metal straight stitch, but not quite as good as I would need it to be doing any real work with this kind of fabric. So before we actually do the Teflon foot, I wanted to test how a plastic foot would do just with the tissue paper. And I wanted to show you guys how tissue paper works on this, because I definitely have a lot of experience using tissue paper on this kind of fabric. And it's actually pretty effective. So yeah, the tissue paper is actually super effective and useful. The only issue is that like getting this tissue paper out can be kind of a pain, and sometimes if your tension isn't exactly perfect, it can pull your stitches up, or you can get tissue paper kind of stuck in your stitches. But for the most part, in a pinch, it's pretty good. So now we're going to actually use this Teflon foot, and I'm pretty excited to see something really actually get the job done, because I've definitely had my struggles with this in particular. really seemed to do the trick. There wasn't really any resistance. And there you have it. From left to right, you have your best and then your worst, from Teflon feet to a metal straight stitch. And I'm honestly pretty impressed. I didn't really expect it to work as well as it did.
So I don't know about you guys, but I'm totally converted to this little guy. People have told me before, oh, just go buy a Teflon foot. And I'm like, who buys feet? And, I feel pretty goofy right now for never using one of these because I definitely sewed an entire purse out of that exact fabric. And as you literally saw how frustrating that was, and used tissue paper the entire time. And it's really hard to line up your stitches with tissue paper. So I'm definitely going to recommend this, and I'm going to put a link in the description to, the little Amazon listing that I got this little guy, and I gotta say, I'm pretty stoked about it, and I'm stoked to sew vinyl and pleather without wanting to rip my finger out. But I'm like, and you just always kind of find it.